I'm Scott Allen Miller. It's the 22nd of July, 2023. This is my vlog of daily life living in Leon, Nicaragua. Today we're announcing a really cool project that we have been associated with, as well as a little something that you may not have noticed. We're going to get to all that right after the bump. It is a lovely Friday afternoon here in Leon, Nicaragua, and today we are very excited to be able to show off that our first large order of these has arrived. A whole bunch of them came in from Managua this morning, and this is my first that I'm going to be able to take this out and wear around town. So we're heading to Via Via tonight, the day of the recording, which I'm recording in the future, and going to be wearing these as we go to the show this evening. Now, we're very excited about these. These are our swag. We don't have a way to sell these in the United States quite yet. So if you're in my North American audience and you're like, I got to get my hands on one of those shirts, hold your horses. We haven't figured that out yet. We have a plan, but we're not quite to the point of executing it, so there's gonna be a little bit of time. But if you're here in Nicaragua or if you're coming to visit and you're interested in shirts, let me know, because we can get them around the country pretty well, but it does take a bit of work. But boy, are they cool. These, they're a little bit different depending on the sizes. Mine are super soft and thin, like they're perfect for the weather here. It's very comfortable. I really like it. And I have about 7 of my own already. So I'm quite excited about these. I'm going to be wearing them all the time. They're also a little bit tighter, so it's going to encourage me to be dieting and walking around a bit more. But awesome. I love how they look. I love how they feel. And it has been years. We've been needing this, and it just, I don't know why it never happened until now. We are also working on hats. I'm just wearing my Imperial hat from Costa Rica today, but we're going to be working on those. Marcella has been putting in a lot of work trying to figure out how to get those made, and we're keeping led from vendor to vendor, because getting the hats, getting the actual logos made, like there's a bunch of different steps, and it's not as easy as it might sound. So that is being worked on, but we're excited about that. Now, that little bit of swag news going on. And by the way, if you guys have ideas of like cool swag that we could do, let me know, because I mean, that's just cool. I want to have lots of things with the beard on it. I also have had some requests for shirts, same like my shirts, but with the beard logo just big, right? Without all the text, just like a huge beard. So we'll probably get some of those. There's also some that are the same, but on the back. So this is the back of this is just the back of a t-shirt, right? It's plain. But we have ones like this being made that have a QR code on the back, the same as my business cards. So if you see us out and about and we're filming, we can have those on, and people can come up behind us and get the code and go to the vlog, which is a little bit funny, but it's amazing how often we get noticed being a film crew, and it's difficult to do things when you're doing that, because it's not like you can hand out cards. You're holding cameras, you're interviewing, you're recording, and a lot of the times we're not like on camera. Someone could easily come up behind us and grab that. It's not a big deal, but we're busy. So Marcella came up with the idea of putting it on shirts, and so far we've tested it and it actually works. Now these are vinyl, so they don't stretch quite as much as if it was silk screened. So hopefully that's gonna work. But we've got these. I wanna know, like, are you looking for shot glasses? Are you looking for pens? That'd be really weird. Like, that's obviously not what you're looking for. Shot glasses, you might be. But like, what kind of cool things should we be making from the channel? T-shirts are like the obvious thing. Everyone needs them. They look great. These are fantastic, and we will use them all the time. So that makes sense. I'm not sure what other things would be really logical. So I want to hear from you guys. Get down in those comments and let me know. But our big announcement that we're doing for the day is coming up. This is what I'm even more excited about. The big thing for today is we are finally able to announce our partnership with NicaRumba. NicaRumba is the brand new, just going live website for finding activities and events going on in Nicaragua. Now, it's very new, so it's primarily the Leon market, which is where it's being developed. It is going to be displayed, because it takes time to collect information from bands and venues and stuff around the country to get them into the system. But there's already events from around like Managua, Matagalpa, Jinotepe, Riva, San Juan del Sur. They're starting to send in information And that's getting the ball rolling. We're going to have a link down in the description, hopefully by the time you see this, of an email address you can use to send in events, because right now it's all being moderated, so every event is being manually uploaded by the NicaRumba team. But in the future, there's going to be more functionality to make that even simpler. But for now, simply send in an email, or if you know the team, send a WhatsApp, whatever, with the information about the event, and it'll go up on the site. The site is completely free. It's free for users, it's free for bands, it's free for venues. Everybody's free. There's not even advertising on it. It is completely free. And here, we've been actually using it here in Leon for a little while. Those of us who are out all the time, we know about it. The bands know about it. They've been putting information up there and they've been testing it out. And let me tell you, the reason it came about a few months ago, when you would go out in Leon, it was all word of mouth. And everyone we know had the same problem. When we would go out, we would call April and be like, April, where is everybody going tonight? And she would call around, because she knows the band. She's lived here for a long time. And she would call around and be like, who's playing at what venue tonight? And then everyone would talk as best they could, and eventually someone, generally April, would tell everyone, hey, this is where our group is going tonight, and then we would go to that venue and see that band. Very complicated process, and it really didn't allow for very much variety. It was just, these are the people that the right people know, and everyone in town's doing the same kind of thing. Then for us, April went away. She's not here right at the moment. And so we didn't have someone to talk to. So we eventually ended up with a WhatsApp group for us doing the same thing. And we had lots of people on WhatsApp, and they're all, here's what's going on. Here's where I'm going to be. And then people would kind of settle on a spot and go. This is the process over and over again that keeps happening. And, everyone is doing the same thing. This is my story of how it is, but everyone's having the same thing. There's no way to look it up. And I just the other day, I was talking with NicaRumba to someone in Granada, and he's like, oh, no, we got stuff like that. Check out this Facebook group. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I go to the Facebook group. There has been no postings since April. Now, I don't know about Granada, but here in Leon, we have about 10 events per day. So they're pretty busy. And that's just, the big ones that people know about. I'm sure there's lots of little things going on that are not getting any attention. So for them to go 3-4 months without a single event, and Leon is doing 10 things per day, something's wildly off. Yeah, Leon is bigger, but at most double, right? And probably not actually double. And Granada has a lot of events because of all the tourists there. So they should be doing at least 2/3 of the events that Leon is doing. So something is seriously wrong. And then when you look in the discussion thread, it's nothing but spam of marketing. There's no events at all. There's no one discussing events. It's just people posting ads, no moderation. And so I'm like, is this the best that they have? And no one has been able to produce. And I've talked to people in Managua, I've talked to people in different cities. Nobody knows of anything like this. And NicaRumba is special because it covers the entire country. Every band, every venue, they can all be involved. There isn't any limit by location. There isn't any limit by access. Only some people have Facebook. Like, I don't have Facebook. So if there's a Facebook group that has some of that information, I can't see it, right? They're choosing to isolate from, yeah, it's only a small percentage of people, but there is a percentage of people who doesn't have Facebook. And some of those groups are visible and some of them are not when you don't have Facebook. So this is a big deal that this NicaRumba is, it's just NicaRumba.com, or in Spanish, NicaRumba.com. That's all it is. You just go to it. You don't have to log in. You don't have to do anything. It just gives you all the events starting from what's happening right about now. And at the top, you can filter by departamento. Now, if you live in Boaco, you live in Huigalpa, or Chantales, you're going to be struggling. There's probably no events going to show right now. But if you're here in Leon, if you're in Managua, there's going to be a lot of events that you can see for tonight, for tomorrow, coming up in the future. And it goes pretty far in the future as places are sending in venues. So you can go look into the future. So this is really exciting that NicaRumba is working with us to get the word out, and to let people know. So all of us who've been in the know, as this has been coming for the last couple of weeks, we've been starting to use it and start looking up events on it. And it's funny how quickly it became something that we needed to use. Now, we go out more than the average person here in Leon, right? We're part of the extreme go out crowd. And when we go out, we recognize other people that are going out, right? Like, we have a big group and everyone knows where we're going because we're one of the biggest groups that's out all the time. So we're on the extreme end of going outer people, if that's a thing. So for us, it's way more a part of everyday life than it is for most people. But a lot of our group are musicians, and a lot of us own venues. And so for us, it's a really big deal because we're in that position of needing to figure out where we're going to go. We need to promote ourselves. If you're a band, our band friends, they need to let people know where they're going to be. And if for those of us who own venues, like I do, the Simple Beach Lodge, we'll plug there. We're on there and our events are listed. We don't have a ton, but we do have events every week, and quite often too. How are we getting the word out before? We weren't. We were posting it on Instagram, which a certain number of people follow in Instagram, and it's got the feed and all that, and that's interesting. But way better is being able to go to NicaRumba, see everything. You're actually looking for events. When I'm on Instagram, I'm looking for pictures, right? I'm looking for, it's a photo site, or maybe I'm doing its TikTok equivalent, right? And I'm doing that because, you know, the TikTok with a 3-week delay or whatever it is, your grandparents' TikTok, that is often why I'm on Instagram. If I see an event, I might be interested. I may follow up on it, but my chances are low, and I often can't find it again when I've said, oh, I saw that this band I like was playing somewhere. Where was it? I don't remember, and I can't look it up, right? Instagram doesn't really give you that functionality, but with NicaRumba, you can look up by venue, you can look up by band. Okay, that functionality is not there yet, but obviously it's coming. But you can see all the events and say, what's going on tonight? What's going on tomorrow? In my departamento, filter it down a little bit by date, by departamento, and you can find what there is. And this is exciting. This is a big thing for Leon. This is a big thing for Managua. It's a big thing for Nicaragua in general. This is a gap in the information. And being that this is a culture that going out and going to see live music and going to events and going to plays and going to cultural events this weekend as I'm recording this, so it's actually happening. Whew, we got quite a bit of thunder rolling in the distant background, so that's not great for the event going on tonight. But Azul Dario is happening this weekend, so by the time you're seeing this, it'll have been a week ago, even though, I'm sorry, by the time you're seeing this, it will be the day of. It starts tonight that I'm recording it, and on Saturday morning at 7 o'clock when you're watching this, this is one of those time warp things in my head. It will actually be happening, but the date is several days in the future from the date on the video. That's what I meant to say. That is a huge festival happening right here in Leon, and being able to look things up like that, like the In Tour, like there's always a food festival that's coming up really soon in Managua. I'm hoping to make it to that. It's gonna be really tough, but I think I can make it happen. I've got a busy week next week. I think we're going to have some amazing filming next week, but boy, is it going to be a lot of work. So hang with me as we try to get everything done for that. And we're hopefully going to be doing a lot of beach filming next week. I'm looking forward to that. And we're going to be bringing you information on NicaRumba as we partner with them to bring more information about them out for everyone. But if you have any interest whatsoever, if you're here in Nicaragua, please go check them out. If you don't live here, just pop on and take a look at what's happening and provide some feedback. You can't get directly involved with the development team at this time, but you can put comments on here, and obviously we can contact them. So feel free to comment below what you think is missing. It's new, so don't be surprised if there's not very much functionality yet. The important thing is that the events are there. You can filter by them and actually go see them. It's really, it's so simple. But for us, it's such a big part of our lives that instead of an hour a day going, where are we going? Are any of our friends playing? Every one of our friends is listed on there. We can just scroll through them, like who's playing tonight and where are they, and make our decisions that way. And we used this the other night. This is actually a really big deal. We normally would go out and struggle when we go out to find where someone's playing. If it's one of our closer friends, we'll generally find it. But if it's one of our like more casual friends or a band we like, but not one we're like really close to, often we don't get the update. And so we'll miss a lot of things. And the other night there was so much going on that we ended up being able to go out and see one band play at one venue and then move directly onto another one and move on to a third one and see 3 bands at 3 different venues in one night. And because of NicaRumba, we were able to figure out when they were starting, where they were at, and plan our path to get through the night together. And so we had a group that went from place to place. That's fantastic. There's all kinds of stuff we never were able to do before. We'd have been very lucky to have known about more than one of those events, let alone all 3, and know where they are and be able to look up their times to be able to put it all together. So it's a neat thing. So even if you're not here in Nicaragua, jump on there and just take a look, provide some feedback, and say, wow, that's pretty cool. Because Nicaragua is such a small market, because it operates as a nation, but it is only the size of a single large city, think Dallas, Houston, or Philadelphia, it lends itself to the ability to, if we break it down by 17 departamentos, that's not that big of an area. You're only talking about 300,000 or 400,000 people per departamento on average. And when you're talking about something of that size, you can just list it on a website when you break it down by day, and you don't have to get into complex searches. There's a lot of things you don't have to do that are so complex, and you're able to provide something incredibly functional. It's just neat to see this kind of stuff happening in Nicaragua. Thanks for joining me. Please remember to like and subscribe if you'd like to support the channel. You know the link. We got it right up there. Buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/ScottAllenMiller. That does so much to help promote this channel, make it possible, help me afford all of the things. I do have an addiction to buying motion VFX tools that give all the like bars and stuff on the screen, and I like to like throw them in and make the video. I don't think they actually make the videos more interesting. They just make me like making them more, but I need that motivation and I need the coffee to pay for them. So please. And if you're looking for any help with relocation, whether it's just you want to do a phone call with me and spend some time talking about what it's like to relocate or where you might want to move or just to ask questions, I do that by the hour. Or if you're looking for custom tours, that's why I'm going to be busy next week. I'm doing a custom tour most of the week and actually driving folks around and going to look at different places, and we'll be filming lots of cool stuff with that. So I'm very excited that we're doing that. It's going to be a bunch of time, things like that. info@relocatenicaragua.com. And as always, like, subscribe, tell your friends about the show, tell your friends about NicaRumba, check out the site, bookmark it. Do people even know about bookmarks anymore? Is that a thing? I've never used them. Even 20 years ago, I didn't use them. I don't even know if they exist anymore, but do something so you remember NicaRumba.com. And as always, I will see all of you tomorrow